Yeah, man, what you saying, man? Another week, episode 6, another week. What you saying?
It's good. It's good. It's the week. You know what? Actually, side of the other thing we was talking about earlier. It's been a decent week. It was one of them weeks at work where I was doing a lot of mid like treatment therapy reviews with people, and yeah, it's nice having that conversation where with people where it's maybe going well or it's going okay, but they're making plans for the rest of it. So always kind of like that, and always tend to have it roughly around the same time with most people. So I can't really complain, to be honest, about that side. That's been quite nice this week. What about you? What are you saying?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Friday feeling. But now I'm good, man. Like, I was in Birmingham yesterday.
Mm.
Long day, man. I think I left out at like 7:30. I got back at like 10 o'clock at night. So just a long day. But apart from that, man, I'm good. Do you know what though? On the train back, something pissed me off from earlier on in the day. Not about the train or nothing. The train journey was calm, but
Mm.
twice this week I've heard people say, because obviously it's Eid, it's Ramadan, all of that stuff, and I've heard two separate people, one on a podcast, a well-known podcast that we both listened to or we have listened to in the past, but then someone else said it earlier on in a meeting that I was in yesterday in Birmingham, and they said, "Oh, I might try Ramadan, like fasting next year," and that pisses me off, man, because that's not like it's not like a Spotify 30-day trial thing where you can just like sign up for 30 days, see how you get on, and if you don't like it,
Yeah.
you can just quit again. Like, that's a mad disrespectful to, and I'm not religious, but if I was religious and I was a Muslim or practicing another faith or whatever, and someone said, "Oh, I might just try that," like, you could just say, "I might try fasting," because you can do like intermittent fasting, or there's diets that include fasting throughout the day, or you can only eat at certain times. There's things, but the way that these people were doing it, they weren't linking fasting to dieting. They were linking it to the religion of, "I'll do it during Ramadan
Yeah.
to time with other people." And I get why. What do you think? Is that like a mad thing for me to say, or do you think that people are just paying respect to the people, to Muslims that are fasting during
Mm.
Ramadan?
I guess it depends on the context. I mean, I I think I've heard it once or twice, but almost like as a challenge, which I think it is disrespectful. Like, oh, let me see if I can do it as well, kind of thing. Just, I think is a bit of a mess. But if you're curious, if you genuinely just curious about the religion and you want to give it a go as a gateway to being more invested in the religion, maybe converting or being a part of it, or don't know if you've got friends or colleagues or whatever, and you want to do it in solidarity as well. I think it's a bit mad. I wouldn't do that, but yeah, I think if it's like, oh, I just want to do it to test, and I'll do it at the same time, it kind of takes away from, do you even understand the meaning behind it
Mm.
and why people are doing it? I don't know. It's a bit, it feels like that whole that gentrification movement where they're just taking stuff and just using it the way they want to use it for
Yeah,
the
man.
for their own thing without even paying homage to where it's come from. But I can't answer that as well because I'm not Muslim, so it's not even for me to say who can and can't. But yeah, I've just found that a
Yeah,
bit
no,
weird.
not even in like a kind of can't way, but just it just threw me. Like yesterday, like I said, I was listening to a podcast this morning. Actually, they were talking about it on there, but I think it came out last week or yesterday. But then someone in the office that I was in yesterday, not in my meeting, but in the office, I heard them say to someone, and I thought, right, this isn't like a trial thing where you can just like sign up to Netflix or Spot. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a
Mm,
trial
mm,
period thing. Like, you're
mm,
either in the religion fully, you believe everything, you follow the faith, or you just don't do it, or don't associate it with that. Then just say that you're gonna do fasting.
yeah, it's gonna fast.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna diet. Just say that. Then don't like say, "Oh, because of Ramadan, I'm going to do this." To me, that's just
Mm,
mad disrespectful. But yeah, man,
100.
just crazy times, man. I should have shut them up like Ricky got shot in Boys in the Hood, man. Remember we saw, why was he talking about Boys in the Hood last week? Was it
Oh,
last
oh,
week?
no, 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 but yeah, because I watched it. That's why.
Okay.
And something got pointed out to me that I'd never considered, but then I realized some people have thought about this. So assuming you remember the film reasonably well. Like you've seen it more than once, probably.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
I think most people that have seen it probably seen it more than once. So what was pointed out to me was, at the beginning when they're kids, when Trey, more when Trey before he moves, and they, oh no, actually no, it's after they move, and they see the dead body, and then there's the group of elders, and they take the ball, and
Yeah,
then
yeah, yeah,
afterwards
yeah.
he's like, "Hey, little man," and he throws the ball back. Yeah, right. S- It was suggested to me that those elders are the Donnies that Trey and Doughboy are beefing later. And I was trying to figure out the timelines. I was thinking that wouldn't be that crazy. And I was spun. Yeah, see, that's like,
No, 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 that can't be. Hold on a second. Like,
yeah,
do you know what though? That's not a mad thing.
yeah, I know. I
Don't they
wonder if
say
this
their
is
names though?
something.
Doesn't one of them say the one that's got the ball, or
Yeah,
the one that has, because one of them has the ball first. Like
yeah,
the
yeah,
oldest has the ball, and the other one
yeah,
says, "No, pass him, give it me," and he gives it him. He gives him the older gives it to another older. Then he
yeah.
calls Trey or someone, and then he throws it back. I'm sure he says a name. Like I haven't watched it for ages, but that's a mad. If that
It's
is
mad, isn't
true,
it? If that's the callback almost. Yeah, it's mad.
nah. If that is true, you're making me want to watch it now. I
Yeah,
might have to watch it
I
this
didn't
weekend.
I didn't notice. It was only at the end. And it's like, oh, okay, because basically, like, so, because obviously when he took the ball, and then it turned out that those are the same guys that end up killing Ricky, and I was like, what? And they're like, yeah, and I was like, no, I've never, I've never thought of it like that before.
That's it is mad when you
I was
think it
spun.
because you know why it's mad as well. I can't remember what I was watching the other day, and and someone else told me this. Like this, there's like a film director that I know from Birmingham, and he told me that there's certain scenes in things like films and programs that don't have anything really to do with the film. Do you get what I'm
Mm,
saying? Like
mm,
or the program,
mm,
but they do. You just don't really know it. They don't really like explicitly tell you that this is like, or it's not explicitly like obvious that it's linked to part of the film. But that's one of those kind of things I think he was trying to tell me, that like there could be something. There's a message in there. It's a bit like Power. I don't know if you've been watching the new Power, yeah.
no, not the new
Do you
ones,
remember
but
Angela Valdez, the
yeah,
woman that was in that, yeah?
yeah,
So she had a nephew who wanted to be a police officer,
mm,
and this new Power, he's just randomly come into. He's in one of the scenes. He's not like, I think the woman calls him Agent Valdez, so you kind of know there's a linkage. But
mm,
I've watched it and I didn't clock it. And then when someone went on Twitter and someone said, "Oh, I can't believe that's who I think it is," and then when I look back, I thought, "Raw, that's him."
mm,
So you know what I mean? So they link it that way. But yeah, that spun me a little bit. I might have to research that one, because it kind of would make sense, because that scene, I know it's more to do with the dead body, isn't it? Like
yeah,
they discovered a dead body, and it's kind of like that shock value of kids just being like seeing something mad like that. But that other bit of the scene isn't really. Maybe that's the initial part to say, look, there's always going to be this conflict, regardless
mm,
of how
mm,
old you are, the
mm.
age of you, and all that. Rah, cuz man, that was deep on a Friday,
Yeah,
man.
no, it's mad because also the other thing as well that was making me think maybe it's a possibility is because later on in the film, I think so. Obviously, them other guys are driving through the hood like on that street like quite a few times. But Doughboy, I want to call him Craig in it, but obviously that's Friday. But Doughboy, it's Ice Cube's character, like name checks him and says he's 27 and he's still doing this kind of madness or whatever phrase used at the time. And that was making
Yeah,
me think as well, oh, maybe it is that because obviously at the point where they throw the ball back, they've kicked like younger Doughboy in the stomach and like they kind of beat him up. Do you know what I mean? So there is a thread, like if that's the case, but
and to add to that as well, I think after that little bit of the scene where they're youngers, it tells you how many years have passed. I'm sure it does. There's a random
yeah,
like just
I
it's like a
missed that part.
cutscene, and it says like 10 years later or
Yeah.
whatever.
Oh
Cause
yeah,
no, you just literally blew my head, man.
changed the film with it. That's what it
Rah.
was about this whole time.
Nah, you blew my head, man. You blew my head with that one.
But
That's
yeah, but
crazy.
anyone that hasn't seen it or seen it recently, go back and watch it. You'll see the one of the earliest references to gentrification on on like the big screen as well. Like I think there's a clip going around on Twitter, but obviously Furious, who's Morpheus, who's the dad in Blackish. Yeah, he references. It's quite, yeah. That film's way ahead of its time. Like it's insane.
Spike Lee, isn't it? Spike Lee directed.
No, it's Singleton. Is it John Singleton?
I thought it was Spike Lee. Isn't that a Spike Lee film?
I don't think so. It's got to feel like it, but I'm sure it's John Singleton.
You might be right, actually. Let me just quickly
see. At least this is a quiz.
I think you're right, actually. Yeah, John Singleton. You're right. Yeah. Why did I think it was Spike Lee?
Because he does those kind of films, innit? And also the credits, like it does look like a Spike Lee film in certain bits.
Okay. See, I learned something new. Friday wisdom, man. Friday wisdom. But did you hear about the doctor as well? Like, it's quickly going off topic slightly, but you hear about the doctor who died of a COVID vaccination. That's why I got no jabs. Anyone who knows me knows no jabs. But for context, was it AstraZeneca? Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, that one. Whichever one that one is.
What's the difference in them? Do you know? I don't even know. I don't even know. It's just a name.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I'm not even gonna sit here and try and lie. I don't know the difference between all of them. I probably should, to be fair. But yeah, I don't know. But there's been a couple, but that's a higher profile one.
It's a shame as always a doctor as well. Not the irony. Like, I don't want to say like the irony. He's a doctor, but you'd think. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just mad that it's a doctor that's died. Like, it's mad, and he's local. He's in Kent, Sevenoaks.
Yeah. So,
I thought he's from like abroad. I thought he was American or something, but that's local.
No. I'm sure he's an English guy.
Yeah. Mad.
Yeah, it's a weird. It's a strange one for a lot of reasons, because obviously, we're not going to go into the COVID theories because we'd just be here all day. But it's just interesting because people's views before they wanted to take it. I can't remember if he was forced to take it as well, because obviously we know that up until literally the day before the deadline, people in the NHS were told they have to take it, otherwise they're going to lose their job. So it was a bit of a weird one.
It's a bit mad because I think it's mad because just thinking back now when you said that about NHS staff having to take it, I'd assume, and this is a thing actually, before I say that bit, sometimes it's not the vaccine that's the problem, it's the person. Like, there could be things that's wrong with the person that the person doesn't know that's wrong with them. They take the vaccine and then that could lead to blood clots. It could lead, which is what I think, just reading this now, I think that's kind of what happened. They had a bleed on the brain. Yeah. And then the vaccine induced thrombosis, which I didn't even know was a thing, but clearly it is. So then once you get things like that could have been something that was like underlying, like an issue that he had, they just didn't know about it. So it's sad, man. It's sad. Yeah, it's sad to hear that.
No, and I think because he was young as well. I think he was in his early 30s.
32.
It just, whether you want to be a pro-vax or anti-vax as well, it's just quite surprising that, despite, I understand the urgency based on those people administering it and saying to get it, they felt they're on the right. But even just, sometimes if you give blood, they test you, don't they? Like they'll take into account your demographics, but I think generally they just test you. So it makes me question why people weren't being tested first, even if you've got an underlying condition. But it's almost this kind
before you got the vaccine, you mean? Why wasn't you tested before? I suppose it was a turnaround though. You think about how many millions of people that they needed to vaccinate or they wanted to get vaccinated within a period of time. I don't think they even thought about testing. They just jabbed people. And that was one of the things that put me off, was that like the testing of the vaccine hadn't really been done properly. and they were doing like live testing on people.
Just to see what happens, isn't it?
Yeah, kind of a little. That was my theory. Like we said, we're not going to get into theories, but that's how I kind of looked at it. It was like they haven't really tested it for long enough to know the implications if anything goes wrong, side effects and anything like that. Because some people used to tell me, "Oh no, I didn't get any side effects," and then they'd have like the second one, and it would put them in bed for like a week. So, and any vaccine can do that, not just the COVID ones. Like you could take vaccine for anything, it could have those same effects to you, but it's just mad. I can't remember what country it is. I think it might be Finland or somewhere like that. They've literally stopped all vaccinations. Like they're not offering COVID vaccines anymore, and they've kind of put a stop to it a little bit. Almost trying to that last step of normality for, I think it's Finland anyway, but whatever country it is, it's like the last step of normalization for them now. Do you know what I mean? They're going back to that normal phase of like, you know, remember I was talking about this the other day. Remember, like you had to get a COVID pass, you had to show a pass to get into a venue, you had to queue to get in the shop. Like when you think back, I'm mad that period of I'm laughing, but that was a mad period. Man had to queue to get into like the shop to get food. Come on.
No, it is. I felt like there'll be. I think there has been a film already or some documentaries, but I feel like there's going to be quite a few more where people have like documented stuff. Because I watched one, it was a 10-minute one, but it was about, again, I think it was on Twitter. It was just the news. It was just capturing all the news bulletins. It's quite nuts. Like I think it was from maybe December time, something like that, December 2019, all the way through to about like December 2021 or something. Just the whole escalation. It just feels now like it didn't happen. Like I'm not even gonna lie. Like it just feels like it's just something that, you know, it was a hypothetical situation or a film that everybody watched that we all know of, but it didn't happen. You know, well, for me personally, obviously, if anyone has been affected by it or had someone die from it or what have you,
Yeah,
people know
100%.
COVID, it's different. But yeah, just parts of it just feels like it just never happened at all.
Yeah, it's weird because you got to remember back then it was constantly being pushed in the news every single day. We had what was his name? Boris. Boris was doing them daily things with that other guy, Whitty. Can't remember his name, Professor Whitty.
Did the hot dog with eyebrows, that guy.
Yeah, that guy. Oh, at least it's not me this week. Yeah, at least. Oh yeah, the guy with the hot dog with the eyebrows, him.
Yeah, that brother.
Yeah, they were doing the daily stuff, and then it was every single day. You couldn't like, even on my phone. Like I remember at one point, I think I took all the news apps off there. Just everything was off my phone that had anything to do with it. I was sick of hearing about it. But then, yeah, I just think now, I think people are more wise to it now. You know, I read the other day they're trying to offer the vaccination to like not newborns, but that next stage, like a couple of months old. I think like 5 and below, because I think that was the only group that was never originally put in a category to say that they need it or they can have it. Whereas now it's available for them. But I just think if we're treating it as like a common cold or we're treating it like a cold now, why are we even offering it out anymore? I just think. You know what I think already about making the rich richer and and all that. So I think that was the real ultimate reason for it. But just before we move on though, but did you see the thing with the reporter? And the reason I bring this up is there was a reporter with Elon Musk, and they had an interview about Twitter. So going off topic slightly, but I'll bring it back to a full circle in a minute. But he was talking about hate crime or hate speech. Sorry, not hate crime, hate speech on Twitter and how it's increased since he's taken over and all these mad things. BBC reporter as well. So then Elon Musk asked him, can you tell me 2 examples of the hate that you've seen that you're talking about? But the BBC brother can't tell him nothing. He's just like, I don't use Twitter. I haven't used it for months. So then he's saying to him, but you've just said you've seen it. You've literally just said to me, you've seen this hate speech on there and it's increased and it's alarming to other people. And he's caught him now because he's like, well, and then I think the reporter goes, but someone else has told me that it's happening on there. So he says, okay, then can you give me the examples? He's like, oh, I can't. So my point is to bring it back full circle is that it's mad how the and I'm not saying there isn't hate speech on there because I know there is, but it's mad how the narrative of anything that the media or the news want to tell you, they can just tell you and it can become true. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, they remember the times they were telling us that people are going to be dead, lying dead in the streets if you didn't take this vaccine. And remember, and I'm not saying people didn't die. So again, I'm not trying to disrespect anyone that lost their lives during that period. But they were talking like we were going to be like it was going to be the end of the world. Do you get what I'm saying? No, remember you couldn't get no toilet paper. You couldn't get toilet paper off the shelves. It was empty. Remember, no pasta, no nothing. So it's mad how they spun this mad narrative that the world's about to end and we're all going to die. You got to get vaccinated so you're alive. And then...
Yeah, definitely that media campaign, because I feel... Well, I think I should say, and I'm happy to be corrected, but I'm sure they started saying things like, oh, you know, if you have COVID and don't stay in your bubble, or not if you might have it, you don't have the symptoms, you don't stay in your bubble, don't get a vaccine, you go to your grandma, you're going to kill them, they're going to die, it'll all be your fault. And, you know, that kind of thing. And it was the
like... blaming.
One second. 1 second. Huh?
Yeah, it's crazy, man. And to be fair, I'm not even going to lie, the first COVID thing, the first lockdowns and the waves and all that, I was believing. I'm not even gonna lie. I was in with everyone. I was like, yeah, this is mad. Like, I remember not wanting to send my kids out, and no one was allowed in the house, and my kids weren't leaving the house, and just everything was on lockdown for us. And then I think like the second lockdown, I relaxed a couple of things, or we relaxed a couple of things in the house and whatever. And then the third one, I was just like, nah, I'm not doing this, man. There's certain people I hadn't seen for so long. Do you know what I mean? Because I was following the rules and we was going out for our 1 hour walk and all that stupidness. And then I was like, nah, I'm not doing this, man. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? So, but then again, to caveat all of that, I'm not disrespecting anyone that wants to adhere by it. And I still see people now in the shops, like the woman that served me last week, she had a mask on still. So I'm not trying to discredit anyone who wants to do that, or they believe in it, or they... Do you know what I mean? They still want to protect themselves and shield as much as they can. Then some people's immune systems are worse than mine. So I get it.
Yeah. That's the thing. Because I'm not gonna lie. Like I still wear my mask on a tube, but it's because the tube's a mess.
But you have to down there. Yeah.
I know it's not gonna protect me from everything. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, it's calm. Like it's just mad dusty down there. So I've got an excuse to wear it, because you know sometimes you see people used to wear it before even the pandemic, but. No, I've got an excuse now, so I'll just throw it on. I can't even bother, and it means if I fall asleep, I can fall asleep with my mouth open as well.
Man said he can dribble in peace. Them ones there, I hear that, man. I hear that, but I forgot to tell you as well. From OJ with the leather gloves, the jury finished deliberating.
Yeah.
The jury has deliberated. Do you know, it wasn't even that bad, man. It was one of them ones where, if this was OJ with the leather glove, I would have got the same. I would have been with Johnny Cochran hugging him at the end, like OJ was, shaking everyone's hand, walking out the courtroom. So yeah, man, it was good, man. I was happy with for context, if you haven't listened to OJ with the leather gloves, I think that's episode 4, talking about child maintenance payments. But yeah, man, got my letter through literally on the day I said I was going to get it, the 17th of April, which was Monday. I was happy. I was happy with it. I was happy. Yeah. It could have been a lot worse. Let's put it like that. I think they made a mistake. Yeah, but I think they made a mistake. Yeah, but I got in black and white now in it, so they can't really go back on that. That's me. That's me. I got my verdict, so I'm happy with that one. But talking of like marriage and this and that and separations and whatnot, and for anyone who doesn't know, this could be technically a trigger warning due to the context of what we're going to talk about potentially. So we're going to be talking about sexual abuse and stuff. So potentially, but Hakimi, footballer, married, 2 kids, currently accused of rape of a woman. I mean, that's mad in itself. That's mad in itself, to be fair. And that's not really what I want to pick up, but I think that might come out during the conversation. But
for context, isn't it?
Yeah, just the context behind it. So he's married. I think I was reading last week. His wife's 12 years older. Not that that matters
Yeah,
or anything. I'm just saying it's a bit.
she's quite
But
a bit older. Yeah.
yeah, she doesn't look it though. She don't look 12. She don't look 12 years older. But she tried to. She obviously she's filing for divorce due to the fact that he's accused of what he's accused of, and then she found out that Hakimi, who's on €1 million a week, I think, or a month. Sorry, might be even a week actually. I might have got that right the first time. I think it might be a week. It's something along those lines.
No,
Anyway,
it must be a month.
he's eating. He's eating.
Yeah.
Remember, it's PSG, man. They got
Well, is he eating? Finish what you're about to say.
okay.
Who's eating with that money?
Good point. So now all his wages, everything that he owns in terms of property and other assets, are all in his mum's name. And the question I got for you is if and when, you know what I mean, you're in that part of your life where you wanna, you know what I mean, put the ring on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you getting a prenup?
Oh, man.
And put him on the spot, man. I told you, put you on the spot for this one.
With legal, because obviously if I say no, then legally I'm stuffed in it. But
You said last week, do I need a lawyer to answer this question? You might need one to answer this question.
Yeah, we back to that where's Kieren situation where no.
Really?
No, because without going too much detail, I just believe in everything that is around me. It won't get to that. And
I don't, when I ask you that question, I don't mean directly your personal life. I just mean,
in general.
if you was maybe a Hakimi, for instance, then,
Yeah.
and not using his situation, but maybe you was a footballer, would you go down that route of making sure you're secured, getting a prenup or whatever? Would you do that? Not necessarily your own. I mean, I can answer it and say that I haven't got one on Mary. I haven't got one, but that's probably because, like, say I was a millionaire, if I won the lottery, then I might get one. My circumstances are going to change dramatically, or say I change jobs and the job that they're going to pay me is like 30% triple, like 30 times my wage now. I might get one because I'm going to earn a lot more and I'm working for it now. If we build something together, totally different.
Yeah.
If I'm kicking a football and you're just at home and looking after the kids and no, we need a prenup, because if something happens, regardless if I'm right or wrong, I gotta protect my mom. I gotta protect certain family members properly. I gotta protect my children. There's a lot. So
For me personally, I don't care about money in that way that much to need to put one in. And if I was on Hakimi's money, my mindset would probably be the same. I'd say, just because of how I've been brought up, but also I suppose it does depend on who I'm with. So if I'm with someone that's quite new, they full well know I've got that P, then it shouldn't be a problem to have one. I wouldn't leave somebody with nothing, but I don't know. I don't feel like I'd get in a relationship with someone like that. You can never tell. But if I did, and I was thinking, and I would just say, "No, this is what it is." But I always make sure that anyone I've had any affection for, unless they do me dirty, and I'd imagine in a divorce or whatever, you just use that as evidence or what have you to justify. So that would be for me personally. I don't really see the need for one. If it was someone I cared about, like my child, I would tell them to do it, because I can't account for their decision making. So I would get them to protect themselves regardless. So I would encourage them to do it. And I think all's is fair, in it. I don't believe this thing of they've invested this amount of years in a relationship, or they've had X amount of children, they sacrificed their body and all of that. It's like, well, you've got to have a joint decision to have a child, or choose that, unless that person is force you to do that. That's a whole different story. But my thing anyway. Then what about children, all of that. And yeah, definitely you got to, well, this, I wonder if this is coming next, but I still feel like you should provide, you should give that person enough money to provide the minimum to make sure that your children are looked after. But yeah, sorry, to answer your question, not personally in my current circumstance, or even if I suddenly came into money, I don't know if I'd be that bothered about it. I'm not that reckless with money as well. So even if I had half of the money that I had, someone took half my money, I'd be annoyed, but I make that back. Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what? I can't remember if it's Eddie Murphy or Chris Rock.
It's Eddie Murphy.
One of them anyway. It might be Eddie Murphy. I think so, yeah. I think it's that one, but I feel like Chris Rock has referenced something similar as well. And he says something like, if you've got like 100 million and you lose half of that and you lose 50 mil, then you might still be all right because obviously you got 50 mil to live off. But if you've only got like, say, 50 grand and you're losing 25 of that, you're going to be, me personally, I'm pissed off because I've lost 25 grand. That, do you know what I mean? Especially if it was mine as well. Like, when I say mine, I don't mean, oh, it's mine. I don't look after no one or nothing like that. But if like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, because don't forget, like, in going back to like Hakimi's situation, she's obviously an actress, so she's got her own, I think her net worth, so not what she's got in the bank, but her portfolio of assets is equating, it equals up to 1.3 mil. So she's not like going to go and starve. And do you know what I mean? So she's got her little thing there set up already. And he'll still have to provide for his kids regardless of the situation. And I know that this kind of caused discussion online, like should she be going after his money because of, even though she was going to divorce him before all of this, by the way, I think.
She was.
So there's that to put into it, but people are saying, oh, he's smart as well. It's almost like you can't defend him for not being smart. I don't want to say he's been smart, but he can't be the only person that is putting his money into someone else's account.
Well, I know people that have done that, and I've got to remove Hakimi a bit away from it because of the allegations, because that obviously is going to play a bit of a role in how we all feel about it personally and subjectively, regardless of whether we believe it's true or not, because it is an allegation at this point. But yeah, like how many footballers have we read about recently that have gone bankrupt? Wes Brown, I think it's just come out the other day. Craig Bellamy. I'm not saying I like all of these guys. I'm just saying there's bare of them. So that action of putting that amount of money in someone else's account that you trust, with the idea that they're not going to do anything mad with that money, definitely makes it. He's 24 years old. He's on, like you said, like either $1 million a week or $1 million a month. At that level, does it even really matter anyway? Like, that's a lot of money. Do you know what I mean? I know we had that conversation before, but I'm just saying, for that, anything that is getting to that astronomical figure, yeah, you could do a lot of stupid things with that at the age of 24. So who better, if you trust your mum, send them peas. And it also depends on when that happened. Was that from his entire career? Was that the plan? Or is it just as at a point where he thought, this relationship might go south? Yeah.
I don't know. It's a good point. It's a good point, man. It's a good point. You just made me jog my memory back. I don't know if you've watched that football agent program on Sky. Have you seen that yet?
No, I don't think so.
So there's a young, I think he's French. I think he's like a young French kid. He's probably about 18, 19. I can't remember what club he signs for. I can't remember now. But he signs for a club anyway. And his mum's obviously a big part of his life. She's almost like, I think he's manager or kind of like, not agent, but she's an advisor. A big piece of, So, and when he signs the deal, they show him his contracts, right? And his face lights up, man. Like, I've never seen and I was happy for him. I was happy for him. Do you know what I mean? Because hold on, Siri's trying to call someone. One sec. Someone I don't even. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what Siri's doing there. Yeah, Siri's trying to call someone. But anyway, so yeah, his face lights up because they're showing the peas that he's getting every week. But the agent says to him, "You're better off setting up a separate account that you can't touch, or giving your mum the money, because he says when you're young, you're gonna be reckless. You're gonna think that the world is yours forever. Da 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 da. So I think if it is a thing, and again taking it away from Hakimi, but if you're a footballer, you're young. Remember, he's only 24, like you said, yeah. Like that's a young age. Imagine someone giving you that much money every month, every week. Like, I think insane. I would do something similar. I'd give it to someone that I had 100% trust in, because when money's involved, people turn funny, and more so in like when there's going back to the prenup question. Like some people might say to you, "Oh, you know, if we was to divorce, you know, I would never want any of your money. I'd never want this, or I would never want that." But you know, when you move on and you're divorced, and then you're with someone new, the questions that you were telling me, the answer you gave me before for the questions have changed now. Now you want half, and you want this, and you want that, because you're seeing that I'm getting on with life. So I kind of see why some people get prenups, more so because people sometimes as well, it's not just about the money that you're earning. Some people are born into wealth. So if you're born into wealth, you marry someone, it doesn't work. You're taking a chunk of that wealth out of your family's heritage, like the generational wealth. Do you know what I'm saying? So I get it from like Warburtons. If I owned Warburtons, the bread, do you know what I'm saying? And then I marry someone, it doesn't work. 4 years down the line, or 4 generations, down the line, that's less money for them. The grandkids or whatever. So I get it then. But if I'm just a general footballer, I suppose I'm kind of siding with you a little bit more. Like, I just think it is what it is. Like I'm a footballer, I got money, or I'm earning whatever, not just a footballer, and it is what it is. Yeah. If we divorce, we divorce, isn't it?
That's what I think, and it depends on the nature of your relationship. I agree with everything that you said, and first and foremost, you need to think about your future and how you see life. But yeah, I don't know. Like if you're with someone, you love them, you feel like you love them that much, and you feel like regardless whatever happens, you wouldn't want them to go without. Yeah, like it's fine. And if you're thinking, well, no, it's my opinion, whatever, I think it's just good. It's good to have that. It's good to have that discussion and just say, look, these are my values, isn't it? I think this is probably the issues of relationships anyway. Sometimes we just don't say stuff. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, I don't know, but yeah, personally, if I was making £1 million a month, yeah, I'm still good. That the next 7 generations until the sun burns the earth is fine. So we're good. 5-year contract? Yeah, we're good, man. I'm not gonna spend it on dumb stuff. I'm not gonna just be giving it out. Build my house of gold.
Yeah, but it'd be interesting to know if he's like, whatever happens with his case. I don't know when his trial is, or if he's been not sentenced, if he's been found guilty, convicted, or he has to go to court. I don't know. Convicted, that's the one. Then I don't know. I'm assuming they would just terminate his contract as well anyway. So, do you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot. For me personally, he's got kids. He's going to be paying peas out anyway, regardless if it's a prenup or through like whatever the Spanish. Because I think they got married in Spain, so technically I think their kids might be Spanish, and then they're both Spanish anyway, I think, aren't they?
No, Hakimi's,
sure they're both born.
Hakimi's Moroccan, no? I think they're both, and they're both not Moroccan.
I'm sure he's born in Spain, you know.
Hakimi?
I don't know. Anyway, I don't know. I don't really follow.
I'm sorry, he plays for Morocco. I'm making a massive assumption. Oh no, so you're right. Yeah, no, he's born in Spain. Oh yeah, I just assumed because he does play for Morocco, the national team.
Yeah, he does. He does.
My bad. Yeah, I just assumed.
100%. He's just one of them where like he's just got like the heritage of past generations, I think, in him. But so yeah, whatever the Spanish child maintenance kind of thing is, prenuptials and divorce proceedings, all that must be different to here. So, but it's just an interesting one. But then to follow up that other question, I got one more question for you.
Yeah.
Do you think, because I was speaking to you before about the likes of Bill Gates, I think Justin Timberlake, but I'm not 100% sure. I know Jackie Chan's definitely doing it. You know, he's been eating money for how long?
Boy, listen.
Rush hours and all of them things there. Yeah. And I was reading the other day that Shanghai Noon. I forgot about it. Isn't that with Owen
Owen
Wilson?
Wilson, yeah.
Yeah, mad film. But I was reading, I think last week, that a lot of celebrities, the ones I've named, I think 100%, but a lot of them are cutting their own children or removing their own children out their will, for the only reason that they want their children to go out there to understand how to earn their own money, build their own empires, whatever. Do you think, off the back of kind of what we were just discussing anyway, do you think that's right? Do you think it was right to kind of not be harsh to your kids, but show them that, yes, you've got this money here, but you're not going to receive that. Go and carve your own lane and do what you got to do.
You know what? It's funny, yeah, because the way that you described it there, I've completely changed my mind to what I was thinking earlier when you gave the hint of the topic. So, no, I think actually it's fine, because if you think about your obligation as a parent, it's the basic needs, isn't it? Safety, food, and shelter. So, saying that just because you got bare peas, you should pass that on to your kid, that doesn't run. Because it's like saying, we know this anyway, like when you grow up, you don't have much. Your parents can still provide you with the basics and you can still do something. So I don't think it's wrong to do it. Would I do it is a different question.
Would you do it?
Would I do it? No, because... No, I caveat that. Don't move them mad. Like if they got some mad, I don't know, like dealing drugs or something. You know something mad where you're thinking, I can't then give you money because this is a bit weird. But no, otherwise, what am I doing with the money? Like it's like all these people. Like you see the queens you buried with all their stolen jewels and stuff, and it's why have you gone through all of that to go and die with your money or give it to some cat's home or something stupid like? Yeah, just give it. Just give it to them. Like it's fine. But you really want them to go through them bad struggles.
That's
eating like corned beef and spaghetti hoops for dinner. And no disrespect, like it was where it was, but no, like I wouldn't. Yeah, like I'm not. If I don't need to do that, I'm not making people do that just to make them have the value of life. I can do that in lots of ways. So I wouldn't do that, but I don't agree with people that I don't disagree with people who also do that as well. It's fine. They want to.
Yeah, it's a bit mad because literally just reading that. So Jackie Chan's net worth is 400 million. 400 million. Are you really telling me that? I don't know how many kids he's got, but let's just for the argument say he's got 3 kids. You're not going to leave him anything. Net worth 400 mil. That's properties, cars, business, production companies, money in the bank. You're not going to leave them $1. I could never. Do you know what? I think maybe I'm speaking from my perspective, but I work hard to try and give my kids what I can while I'm here. And I want to make sure that when I'm not here, they don't have to work as hard as I am to try and give what I'm trying to give to them now.
Yeah,
do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's it.
So, right, that's mad.
I think it's different though for us because if you, just looking at us in our demographic, like we ain't come from wealth and it ain't easy to then acquire that anyway. So I think it's a little different, but yeah, it's the same way I was talking to someone else who's helped me with a lot of things financially, and yeah, they were just having that conversation with me about life insurance, and was saying that one of the biggest contributors to wealth is life insurance, just making sure you put aside them P's for I think we had that discussion as well, but just putting aside them P's for people that you're leaving behind, isn't it? So you can just leave them something. So yeah, I just can't be on this planet making all that money and it'd be like, well,
what, for it to go back to the government?
Yeah, exactly. When you ain't left it in your will and it's going to all these other places, and it's like, no, like and I don't, when I have kids, I don't own my kids, so it's not for me to even tell them what to do with that. I can just say, here's the P's and whatever, but go and make your own decisions, innit? Like, let's hope the parenting worked.
Yeah, but yeah, it's a mad one. It's a crazy one, man. It's crazy. You ready for Sunday?
What's on Sunday? Oh yeah, Sunday. Yeah.
Man said what?
I think it's the FA Cup semi-final on Sunday.
Man said football. We ain't talking. You want to talk football today?
No. I'm not alright. Do you want to talk football today?
Listen,
Do you want to talk football ever?
I can talk football, yeah, because my season was written off from October. So I've just been here bantering and getting bantered since then. So I can talk football and get away with saying wild things because my season was done anyway. But you, man, you know what I'm saying? 2-0 up, first leg, 5-0 over two legs.
Not saying
mad. But yeah, to be fair, I didn't even watch the game, so I can't even comment on it. But yeah, now Sunday, for anyone that doesn't know, national alarm on your phones. What do you know what the time of it is? I feel like it's like 2:00, something mad like that.
I don't know actually.
Find out now. 3 p.m. So there's going to be a loud alarm at 3 p.m. on Sunday from your phones. You can turn it off if you really want to. And in fact, let me just say this as well, because there's a good thing that I read on the internet that there's obviously a lot of women or men or just people. Yeah, domestic violence, got hidden phones. Make sure you turn that off, because if you've got a hidden device, it's going to go off. All of that stuff. So I think you got to go into like the settings, well, iPhone settings, scroll all the way to the bottom. No, notifications, scroll all the way to the bottom. Then there's like 2 little alerts, emergency alerts and another alert. Turn them off if you're got a hidden mobile or iPhone before Sunday, because yeah, it'll go off.
Yeah. I owe someone an apology then, because I was adamant that you couldn't actually switch it off.
Yeah. I know you can on iPhone, so you're on the dark side, and you might not even have the option.
Yeah, that's true.
I think. Well, what's your thoughts on that anyway? Like as well, like the actual alarm, the testing thing. What's your thoughts on that?
I don't know, because I only heard it at work. I wasn't I didn't even spot it in the news or whatever. I'm not gonna lie, it kind of freaked me out a bit. I'm thinking, what's this about? Why do we need this now? Innit? Were you on a tectonic plate or something with another earthquake, or what's going on? But I can see the benefit of it, but also I just question the timing, and also I kind of see the point, but I don't see the point at the same time.
Do you know why? They
educate me.
I don't know. I'm just sort of from what I know. So I might have got some of this wrong, but I know that there's other countries. I think Holland or the Netherlands, America, Canada, and I think Japan do it already. And it tends to be, and I don't think we get many of these here, but for dramatic floods. So when I mean floods, I'm talking where tsunami kind of thing, or wildfires. 2 things I don't really see in Liverpool, if I'm being honest. But I'm just saying I don't live in the countryside like that. But it's weird because I feel like even yesterday, coming out the train, going into the train station, coming out Birmingham Central Station, there's armed police everywhere, and there always has been for so long. And you always have to think, did these lot know? Obviously they do, but they're not even hiding it now. Did these lot know something's going to happen soon? In my opinion.
Yeah. That's what I was saying about the fear.
It's mad because like, why would you need to test an alarm? I don't get it. Like if there's wildfires or floods, what's the alarm gonna do? Do you get what I'm saying? Like what's that alarm gonna do? Like,
I wonder, with everything that's going on with Russia at the moment and other countries, whether you just
Kieren, I don't want to say too much.
No. I mean, because one, I don't really know, and two, I don't really
said MI5 might be listening to the podcast on the slide, man.
But no. You just wonder, like you say, if they've clocked something, and it's like to prepare. But it is quite nervy, isn't it? Like you know what I mean? Like if it was like it's for, I don't know, floods, then it's fine. But the only thing I really think, because of the way the country is situated, there's no volcanoes. There are floods, but usually we're not getting tsunamis unless again someone knows something. That's the only other reason I can think of, and it is because certain people are moving mad, and do you know what I mean? Like threatening the world, and then other people are threatening the world. If you know, and so it's a bit of a weird one.
I've turned mine off. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
The game's on, man. I think Tottenham's on Sunday, man. I'm not getting disturbed by that. You're not mad. I get 2 days off a week. You think I want to get disturbed even more? I got kids in the house already. They disturb me enough. Trust me. I don't need some alarms going off in the middle of the day, confusing everyone.
But also, you have to remember to switch it back on, though.
Do you know what though? But this is what I'm saying. Like, yeah, because what I'm saying is, what will be will be. Like, if like you've just described, then some madness happened because of another country or whatever. You think my phone's gonna like stop that from happening, or the alarm's gonna like put a massive metal bubble around me and put me into a bunker somewhere? It's not gonna happen. So, what's the alarm gonna do? Just alert me. Well, Sky will do that. BBC will do that. They do it anyway. They just tell you what's happening. Unless they're there and they're dead up, then they can't tell me. But they're not going to be. So I don't see the point. I think it goes back to what we were saying before about that kind of scaremongering tactics from like people, get you on alert for something. Something might happen. Like, I don't know, man. It's a weird one though.
Yeah,
it's a weird one.
It does make you. And I kind of already know a bit of the answer to this, but it does make you wonder about how much access other organizations, outfits have to your phone as well. Because obviously the phone that you have it's not your phone. Do you know what I mean? Like most things you own ain't yours, but your phone ain't yours. Like when it comes down to it, if the police are thinking, "Oh, we need your phone," that's their phone. Do you know what I mean? So
no, you're right.
Yeah, that does make you question that. But look, hopefully this is one of them things where they test it out. Let's be optimistic. It's for good reason. And anybody that, like you say, has got any of them other phones that they use for safety or whatever, they can switch it off. Obviously, certain man that have burner phone.
I was going to say that. Man said
as a separate point. But yeah,
no, the trap phone, isn't it?
Yeah. Do you know how many relationships or marriages might end because someone didn't check the metro or the news this week?
Man said the trap phones, man.
I should have trained in couples therapy because there's gonna be that there's a lot of people as well that won't know that this is happening.
Yeah,
so they're gonna get caught out.
Yeah, I can't remember how I found out. I think someone sent it to me like a group chat, but to be fair, some group chats I don't like being in them. I don't really read everything. I just saw something. I thought, let me just click on that. And because it was off like the UK government, so I thought, okay, let me see what they're saying. And then when it come up with that, but there's going to be thousands, probably millions of people. I'll say thousands at least as a minimum, but they're not going to know. Some man out here having affairs, and they got a little secret phone, and that phone's going to be pinging off in their little hidden space. And then the wives, they're going to be out watching the football. The phone's going to be pinging off in the hidden space.
Do you know what's going to be funny though? Kind of funny for funny reasons. Certain times when you're young and you do things your parents tell you not to do. And I know there's going to be a bag of kids out there that's probably got a phone that their parents don't know that they have. If this was the 90s, I'd say there'd be bare beatings, but there's going to be a lot of people that ain't on Fortnite or able to
explanations, man. You better get them explanations ready because you better have a good reason for that one. Yeah, that's a good point, man. That's a very good point. There's going to be people out there that their mum said no, you can have the Nokia that we had from 2002. Like, Mum, I'm not going into school with a Nokia. And then they got the latest iPhone as well.
In the pillowcase.
iPhone 14 Pro in the shoebox.
Oh,
do you know what I'm saying? Oh. So, I mean, in all seriousness though, there's going to be, do you know what else as well I was thinking? There's going to be people like with dementia. There's going to be people that just aren't like well. Do you know what I'm saying? That could throw them all off, man. Like, they could, some people might think they're going back to the World War II or something. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely. No, 100.
So if you've got people like that you look after, or maybe checking on them and
check on your peoples. Yeah,
man. Because we're joking about it, but in all seriousness, there is a serious part to it as well. But the beatings is definitely going to be running for some people. Unfortunately, kids and all that, parents and stuff. That only beatings I think could be tolerated at that point if you've been told you can't have an iPhone. Oh, speaking of Nokia though. They're bringing them back, You see have you seen them now?
The OG ones or just new Nokias?
Nah, it's like a 3310, but it looks like a modern day version. Have you not seen it?
No.
You have to
So
Google
I
it,
thought,
man, because I'm tempted to go on.
I was gonna say, can we squeeze in a quick question before we wrap up?
Yeah.
Would you, if you had the choice, would you switch back to like a non-smartphone, like just a standard texting and calling thing?
Yeah, I would. I'm literally looking at the phone right now. You can get it on
Yeah.
Amazon. And then the maddest thing is it's still 3310 and it's only £70. The only downside is it's only in 2G, but you know what? If I'm texting and that's it. No. If I'm only texting and it's got Bluetooth on there, so I can listen to, what's it called? Music, old school way as well. Like just all on my phone, SD card. Come on. That's what I'm talking about, man. £70. Them ones there as well wouldn't get the alerts as well, because the alert only goes through to 4G and 5G.
Oh, okay.
So 2G, I'm calm. I can sit there and watch the football in peace. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, and think about it as well. What else do you do on your phone apart from like obviously text, WhatsApp, phone call? I don't really use the internet off my phone. Like when I say the internet, I mean like not web browser. What's it called? Like Safari, Google Chrome off my phone. I can never really do that.
No, I use it for I do use it for work, to be fair, and yeah, like emails and stuff. It's actually sometimes when I'm on a
but there are emails on there. You can use emails on that Nokia.
Can you?
Yeah, man. It's just all in 2G. It'll just take you about like 12 hours to open like a big file. Do you know what I'm saying? If it's in 2G, but yeah, man.
Don't know, man. I feel like
I'd go back in a heartbeat.
You think it does look nice, to be fair.
Would you go back to that?
I want to, and I will do, but I'm scared that email are gonna make fun
I
of
know
me.
you.
You're gonna make fun of
No.
me.
Nah, do you know what? No. Do you know what? I know you would, because I know you, and I know that like not that you like simplistic things, but you're just. Do you know what I mean? I know you, so I know you would rather go back to that, because if it's gonna do the job that you need it to do to an extent, you'll find other ways to. Like you just said then about using it for work, for emails, you'd find other ways to do that. Do you get what I'm saying? Like most nine times out of 10 now, we've got iPhones because we want bare apps on our phone that we don't use. You know what I'm saying? I went through my phone the other day. I got apps on there that I don't use. They're just there, like JD Sports. Just on my phone, just chilling, taking up space on my phone. Like, why have I even got the app? I don't even go there. Argos app on my phone. Like, why are these apps on my phone? So
I think
now we just
like 15 apps on my phone. But yeah.
See, this is what I'm saying, man. You need to get the 30. I want to hear hurdy-gurdy and kick and all them ringtones on. Yeah, come on, hurdy-gurdy and kick, man. You did, I think we spoke about this on the previous episode, but when you start to key in the ringtones, and then you get one thing wrong, yeah.
You just mess up the whole thing.
Yeah. You're like, nah, man, I gotta do it again.
Yeah.
I gotta find out where that C minus is, man. We gotta get rid of that. But yeah, funny times, man. I'd go back to it though in a heartbeat, man. 100%. What's your weekend looking like, man? We got three bank holidays coming up. Did you know that?
Yeah. You know me, man. Like,
I said, yeah.
Just happy when I don't need to work. I like working, but at the same time, I like when I'm not working as well. But yeah, I don't have much planned, but I will be planning certain things, because there'll be loads of events on. I think obviously the coronation one. I think the only way I'll be participating is obviously if the shops don't sell out, I'll just go and get the discounted coronation biscuits and Victoria Spanders, But apart from that, no. Listen. My stance has always been go and enjoy that. If you want to go and enjoy it, it's cool. Don't force no one to enjoy it. And I wish I would have booked a holiday at that point, because yeah, it's a bit. I looked at prices a bit peak to go away now on that weekend, but yeah. What about you? Cause we see weekend staying on the bank holidays.
Man's gonna sound like a dad right now, but I just want to cut my garden, do my garden, do that. Obviously, Chelsea's not playing this weekend, I think you man have got it's because of you man. We should have had you lot this weekend,
Oh,
but
yeah.
our game's been moved because you're in the FA Cup still. But yeah, so yeah, football. I think Arsenal tonight. Recording this on Friday, so Arsenal Southampton tonight. So I'm watching that. House is tidy apart from this room that I'm in right now. I need to sort this one out. But apart from that, when I'm done, man's done for the weekend. I can kick my feet up. Yeah, man, just chilling this weekend. Chilling. As I do. What episode is this? 6? Episode 6 now. Yeah, episode 6, man.
Probably 6.
Yeah, it's 6, man. I said probably. I see what you're doing there, cuz I see what you're doing there. But now, thank you anyone who's listening. Subscribe to the channel. We're seeing the numbers go up on YouTube, so appreciate that as well, 100%. If there's any topics as well, like if you guys are watching these videos, if there's any topics, just message me, message Kieren, message one of us, or email the Stay Tuned email. Let us know what you think we should be talking about on the podcast as well. Make sure you hit up all the social accounts, all of that stuff. Spotify, Apple Podcasts as well. We're available on all streaming platforms as well. Yeah, man, until next week, man, we'll be back.
Peace.